In this innovation lab, science fiction is fast becoming reality. Scientists here are using light to do something it's never done before, transmitting digital data through the air and sending it 10,000 times faster than today's Wi-Fi. And it's nearly impossible to hack. All this from an emerging innovative powerhouse. This is China.
And we are just at the beginning.
This is the future, right? I'm Josh Klein. I spend my life unpacking and hacking ideas, systems, networks, and future technologies. I've worked with some of the biggest names in the tech industry. And in my world, a good hack is a smart solution to a problem. You're building this now.
Yeah, we're under construction.
This is a real solution that you're rolling out throughout China.
That's right.
And hackers are the innovators that create them. 5,000 years of history. And it's the kind of solution that only China can provide. That's why I've come here.
The Chinese are harnessing their immense capacity to take on some of the world's toughest problems.
So I'm traveling thousands of kilometers to uncover some of China's smartest minds, their unique innovations, and join forces with a panel of experts.
That's leading edge, right? That's leading edge that nobody else in the world can do.
An innovation like this, China could absolutely use it.
People have consistently underestimated the demand for connectivity. You can position this to really take off.
To discover just how smart China really is. In this episode, I unearth innovations that could radically change our lives. So I'm not actually a creepy stalker, I just like the guy's jacket. How cool would it be if you could take a pic and automatically find out where to buy something like that? With the new Sogo app, you can. You fire up the app, you snap a picture, you upload it, and it automatically tells you where you can get it and for the best prices. There's a number of similar apps on the market, but this one was developed by the Chinese search engine giant Sogo. What I love about it is that it's super fast and super accurate. And I'm convinced that data speed and accuracy will be the digital gold standard as we fast track into this new era of IoT, or the Internet of Things. This giant global network connects people, smartphones, wearables, tablets, security devices, air conditioners, home appliances, lighting, vehicles, and more. 26 billion connected devices moving 50 trillion gigabytes of data by 2020. But the US Federal Communications Commission has warned of a potential global disaster as the volume sent through existing wireless networks expands to dangerously high levels. We need a solution, and some suggest we need it fast. Enter a tip-off from a tech colleague who's led me to a Professor Nan Che, professor of optical communications at Fudan University in Shanghai, and an expert in a range of optical communication technologies.
What we are doing is make light more smart. The light can talk. Very high-speed data transmission.
Professor Che and her team are on the cusp of a data revolution. It's so fast.
And we are just at the beginning.
This is the future, right?
It will change your life.
Like some of the greatest inventions ever created, the concept is so simple and yet so hard to believe. This is futuristic data transmission using just LED light. So you think you can take existing lights and convert them to transmit data?
Yes, because currently there is a revolution in illumination. People will use LED for the source, light source for illumination and display. So we can use this kind of LED for communication.
So just the standard LED that's blinking on your coffee maker or any, because like you said,
kind of, because it's kind of solid state light source, so it can modulate very fast. It can support such high speed transmission.
The innovation is called Visible Light Communication, or VLC. And instead of using Wi-Fi radio waves or fiber to move data, This technology sends it purely through the LED's light itself.
We have a network camera over there, and this is Canon video camera, has very high resolution video, and we convert the video signal into light signal, transmit over several meters length. And here is the receiver. We will convert the light signal back to video signal, and we can see from this screen that is the camera, that is the video, what we get. So you see, okay, it stopped. If I move back, then it's move again.
And it works at a staggering speed. This tech has the potential to transfer data at 3 terabits per second. As a reality check, Wi-Fi maxes out at just 7 gigabits per second. So basically what you're saying is the fastest cable that we have out there, this can do better than that, and it can do it using existing infrastructure, the lights we've already got built into everything around us.
Yes, and also this light will not do harmful to human health.
So in the future, you can transmit massive amounts of data out of your coffee machine. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can.
Yes.
That's
Yes, you can.
That's amazing. But the most crucial aspect of the tech, it doesn't use the almost maxed out wireless network. With light, there's no limited set of radio frequencies. No one owns the light spectrum, and you have virtually unlimited bandwidth. So this is the prototype, yeah?
Yes.
So you're transmitting Discovery Channel.
Yes, exactly.
So you're transmitting from here to here.
Yes, we transmit downlink and uplink is kind of bidirectional transmission.
Okay. So I can interrupt it and...
Yes.
Yeah. And you have virtually unlimited bandwidth. And the million-dollar question? How does it all work? Electronic data is converted into a binary signal by a processing chip, which it then transmits by turning any LED light off and on at a rate so fast it's undetectable to the human eye. Light on equals a 1, light off equals a 0. Wherever this light can be seen, a receiver can detect its ultra-quick on-off modulation, convert this binary code back to an electronic signal, and transmit it to a computer, mobile device, or any screen, potentially opening up a world of possibilities. But is this really a tech that can transform the future of our connected lives? I'm curious to see what opportunities my entrepreneurial panelists are seeing in this technology.
I think it's very positive, very promising technology.
Clay is a writer and consultant on internet technologies. William, a partner in China's #1 technology accelerator.
So I look at that and I feel like there's some real potential there. I mean, that sort of throughput has impact.
One option would be emerging markets, where people they can't run wire, right? You know, so you put it up on a pole and you can beam out to an entire neighborhood extremely inexpensively, super high bandwidth, and people can share. I think it'll take, a few years.
So this is potentially an instance of a leapfrogging technology.
Yeah, well, emerging markets, you don't have that, 100 years of copper or fiber. You don't have much of anything. So this is an example where we can use this to do the last 200 yards or the last mile, so to speak.
Right.
And suddenly, instead of laying cable to every place in the neighborhood, you can just say, if you can see the top of this pole, you can get television.
And not just television. You can get super high def television, multiple channels, like hundreds if not thousands of channels simultaneously. I mean,
yeah.
A world of potential and short-term challenges. This futuristic tech is, ironically, too advanced for its own good.
Currently, the main difficulty is, for example, if you have cell phone and you have this pad, both of them are portable devices. They are very popular and they are personal terminals, but there isn't any special designed receiver at these devices. We cannot detect a visible light communication system. They need an integrated chip, very fast speed. Sure, a camera can detect visible light, but the speed is quite slow. It's around 30 frames per second, maybe faster mode, 120 frames, but it's quite slow compared to our visible light communication. Currently, we are working on this kind of integrated receiver.
but still you can see it's very large. If we can reduce the size and reduce the power consumption of such kind of devices and make the device into one small chip, then I think we can get very large application for this visible communication.
While Nan and her team continue their R&D to receive this tech on personal devices, my entrepreneurs are seeing immediate opportunities.
We're working with a lot of brands right now that are trying to engage with customers in the store. They're using QR code magnets now, but something like this could be interesting. You can get high-def video. You can actually get content coming down. They can gift you a movie in return for playing with their product or their mini game and testing out their product.
I think for places where it's not just large scale, but it's really one source wants to send a lot of data to a lot of receivers. Are there places where you need to coordinate robots or pallet trucks or any of those kinds of things?
So VLC has multiple commercial applications, the ability to solve our bandwidth issues, and this tech could also revolutionize home data security.
This visible light communication is very safe because there's no leakage to outside. You can limit your light inside the room. So you can find out where your network is because you can see it. Where is the light, there is a signal. And if outside there's no light, there's no signal.
I keep coming back to the fact that the potential for this is just enormous in terms of the amount of data that you can transmit in such short periods of time. It's so fast.
And we are just at the beginning. And we are looking for a big future for this technology.
With the potential to move data at 3 terabytes per second, this tech is worth waiting for. And China is positioning itself as the leader in the smart new interconnected world of tomorrow. A world of not only incredible data speeds and possibilities, but amazing 22nd century biomedics. Whoa, you're connecting circuits to nerves?
Yes.
That's the future, baby, right there. The Internet of Things, the IoT, networks of machines or things that communicate with one another, including us, the human user. One of the first machines networked into this brave new world is the smartphone and the millions of cloud-based applications it runs. Even my simple Sogo app is brought to life by its connectivity and the sheer volume of dynamic data communicating. In the space of a few seconds, it uploads picture data, analyzes that information using complex algorithms, trawls Sogo's massive database, and feeds real-time data back to my phone.
So, how does it work?
Well, most street fashion photos have complicated background. We adopt the deep learning techniques to solve the problem. The computer can auto-analyze the user's focusing area and find out the main part of the picture.
Essentially, the system analyzes the image data and removes the extraneous background imagery.
And what does it do with the parts?
We will quickly match the main part to over 1 million pictures in search engine database and find out the same or similar products.
Yeah, that's right, 1 billion products. And Sogo's search engines trawl through this data at incredible speeds. But getting that information to the user on the street is where the data speeds can lag. But with VLC technology, users with line of sight to a transmitting LED could have an almost instantaneous response. It would deliver the app's pricing data in a split second, a crucial part of the app's functionality.
For every commodity, we provide its price trend. As you can see, it has dropped to the lowest point. We also provide the price comparison, which covers all the e-commerce websites. Users can easily find out the cheapest one.
So you can not only find out what's cheapest, but when it's cheapest.
Yeah.
Cool.
We collect over 1 billion data from online shops. Then we create the same commodity groups using the text and graphic techniques. Actually, besides the price, we can also compare the sales, comments, and so on.
But if there's one thing that this app, and China, does well, it's generate and manage massive volumes of dynamic data, which is exactly what this next piece of lo-fi tech needs to transform China's massive food distribution infrastructure into a state-of-the-art, super safe supply chain.
This is how food gets distributed in China, and that's the problem. There's thousands and thousands of small farms, small distributors, and small markets like this. The issue is that with so many people along the chain, it's impossible to tell if an error occurs. So that guy might have run out of watermelons, and as a result, he picks them up from the guy he met in the parking lot. But he doesn't know that they're 3 weeks old. And no one's the wiser, because when it gets to your table, you don't know either.
Startup investors William Balbine and David Chen, along with technology commentator Clay Shirky, are well aware of the need to improve food safety across the People's Republic of China.
You don't have this problem in the US or Europe. You have this problem mostly in emerging markets. So it's an emerging market innovation for other emerging markets.
The big question in my mind is, how do you roll out something like this that requires more effort on the part of everyone along the distribution chain to buy into this, especially at the size of a country like China?
You have to put monetary incentives in place so that it's worth people's while to put in this type of tracking. Consumers have already proven in China that they're willing to pay for good product, for clean product, for food safety. So it's just a matter of taking that up all the way into the chain.
Meat especially is the big deal. We tagged a pig, we tagged a cow, and then we followed it from slaughter through processing and delivery. And if you can do that, in the beginning, anyone who can make that promise can sell it at a premium. You eventually want everyone to do it, but in the beginning, you want the people who will pay more to say, I want to know where that piece of pork came through the system.
To do that, they need to collect and collate huge volumes of data. But this is the future, a world where data is king, and the practical uses for it, unlimited. In my quest to search out unique inventors and innovators, I found myself getting an insight into the government's new electronic food tracking system, a trial program designed so the entire food production and delivery process can be interconnected, tracked, and deliver safe, fresh produce 24/7.
也就是取缔了这个传统的这个对手交易，那么买卖双方呢都是办理这个卡，卖方呢办那个户主卡，买方办买主卡。
Zhao Zhong oversees the process here at the Zhougu Dui Agriculture Market in Hefei, while General Manager Hao Wang is the driving force behind the tech at the market.
无论是对上游的货物的这个生产者，包括像我们流通环节的这样的这个经销商，以及下游的这个，比如说零售者或者说是消费者。
交易的时候呢，通过这个刷卡交易，买方的这个现金呢就直接划入这个卖方的这个卡里面。
So how does it work? About 300 vendors' trucks pull up here every day.
然后我们在这个电脑里面输入他们的信息，包括他的货主的名字，包括菜的品种和它的产地。拉的什么品种？
蒜苔。
蒜苗。
哎，对。
Meat product data is also input into the system, including the farm the animal was reared on, even details of its vaccinations and quarantine inspections.
追溯链条，我觉得呢，这个从源头一直到流通到最后的终端消费，全部都在这个链条里面。民以食为天，食以安为先嘛。我们也是为了确保这种，我们更好的承担这种食品农产品质量安全的这种责任。
And it's this level of duty, detail, and the volume of data that drives this system and ultimately the Internet of Things. With almost 1.4 billion mouths to satisfy, China's food needs are immense, and distribution centers like this run 24/7. The hope is that this technology will ensure retailers can buy with the full knowledge of where their food was grown, reared, vaccinated, and distributed. But this Ministry of Commerce e-food tracing system needs one more piece to the technological puzzle. And that's led me to the China Information Development Company and this man. An Rongyong is a key player in the development and integration of a unique mobile app that springboards off the back of the Ministry of Commerce's tracking system and puts food safety info into the hands of the end users.
All right. So can you show me this app? Show me what it does.
OK， 就是从这个二维码扫描出来以后，就是这个不管是蔬菜还是这个肉，它从种养殖开始，到最后进入到市场，然后到这个从批发市场再到零售市场，然后直到老百姓手里。老百姓这个一扫这个二维码，就可以把整个链条上的这个信息全部可以追溯出来。
Customers can find out how long a product took to get to the wholesaler, how long it was there, and subsequently, how long it's been on the retailer's shelf. But equally as important, the vegetable data includes what pesticides or herbicides were used during production, and also what preservatives were added after harvesting. Meat product data includes vaccinations and any additives used during processing.
You can track the food all the way from the farm to the end consumer, and then the consumer can look back and see what happened at every step along the way. Excellent.
Yes.
More than that, consumers can also use the app to share feedback on the retailers and the names and locations of stores with the best food prices.
然后这样的话，就是这些信息都有了以后，对老百姓来讲，他就是这个一方面他可以吃到放心的菜，另外一方面他可以买到这个便宜的菜。这个应用的话，在目前我们市场上是非常受欢迎的。
So we all agree that the demand is there, the technology is there. It's a question of adoption.
If it was a consumer adoption problem, this would already be solved. If you could say, would you pay a little more money to know that you're feeding your children safer food? Yes, in a heartbeat. That demand is there. It's adoption of the people in the middle of the chain for whom squeezing the price out of the delivery chain rather than being able to raise the price at the end is the current set of incentives. And realigning incentives in a market is a really big challenge.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, basically, the regulators need to do their job, but I think the technology is available. I mean, for example, Angel Invest and also SOS Ventures, we invest in a company that does QR coding for anti-counterfeiting. And that technology is widely applicable to something like this as well. Basically, we can actually put one of these codes on a piece of meat and scan it and actually know the details of where that meat came from, whether it's authentic, whether it was properly handled in the supply chain, things of that sort. So the tech is available, basically.
Yeah, and this is a real problem that people are trying to solve right now. It's not a 3 to 5 to 10 year type of thing. People are interested in doing it, and consumers can get involved, and that's the key thing. You want to make sure that the populace, the people, that the consumer is sitting there and part of the process, so they can go out and they can check and they can feel safe that what they're buying is the real deal.
A huge challenge, but one the Chinese government is clearly committed to. The electronic tracking system has been expanded to over 50 cities with ongoing monitoring to assure that the food that leaves the slaughterhouses and wholesale markets are in top condition when they arrive at the supermarket. In the world of innovation, there's always some unique, incredible technology that remains untapped and untamed, its applications still dwelling in the realms of science fiction. I've been lured to a research facility in Tsinghua University in Beijing to meet this man, Professor Jing Liu, from the Biomedical Engineering Department of the Medical College of the university. His research group have developed an incredible self-fueled liquid metal, a metal alloy that behaves strangely like a living organism.
This is the liquid metal, yeah?
Right.
So show me what it does.
Yeah, we can put some salt water inside, just cover the liquid metal. Put one electrode, touch the liquid metal, another just put inside the electronic signal.
Whoa, okay, yeah, wow. Wow. That's amazing.
Just change it into a single sphere.
That's amazing. It's become liquid metal.
So you can easily use electricity to control.
This is cool. Yeah, I mean, just by moving the electrodes around, you're able to change the shape of the liquid metal and at relatively stable temperatures, yeah?
Yes.
So close to room temperature?
Room temperature, just at the room temperature.
That's wild. I mean, that's kind of like saying, yeah, I'm gonna melt my car and put it in the garage because it's smaller. You can see that just by touching it with the different poles, you get totally different reactions. Here it's become relatively static. Here it suddenly becomes fluid, and it's moving around on its own. And that's due to the electrical field causing it to rotate inside the water.
This liquid metal is incredible. It turns fluid at less than 30 degrees Celsius, and it reacts instantly to an electrical current.
The rotation, so you can see here, the liquid metal just takes self-rotation.
Yeah, without even touching it, just by putting the electric field around it, it's rotating inside the water.
So this rotation will drive the flow of the surrounding liquid. In that case, it can serve as a pump.
Wow.
Soft pump.
Wow. Yeah, without any moving parts.
Yes.
Because it's an electrochemical reaction.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. It's like a little motor, except made out of liquid metal. That's incredible. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything like that before.
But this metal has another amazing quality: the ability to propel itself without electricity by consuming other metal as food.
Yo, look at that. Wow, he was hungry. Totally ate it away. That's wild. That was weird. Look at it go.
Consuming aluminum causes the alloy to spin and propel itself in the dish.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's still spinning around like crazy. Yeah. So this is without any electrical current at all. Yes. That's strictly a chemical reaction.
That means this liquid metal doesn't need a complicated external power supply to move. Just drop it in an aqueous solution and it propels itself by consuming food, just like a living organism. It can move itself and deform its shape according to the space that it travels in. What's equally astounding, a single drop has enough power to move for up to an hour.
Okay, I'm convinced that's really cool. I mean, it's neat to be able to do that. And I've never seen materials that act like that before. But what do you do with it?
This can be used to make some soft machine. So just as you watched, the liquid metal sphere will self-rotate.
Professor Liu believes this technology could pave the way towards a future of self-propelled, shape-shifting robotics. While its use in propulsion and cybernetics evolves, Professor Liu has found another unique application: as an ink that can print electronic circuits on almost any malleable surface.
Whoa! So, if you can print this onto any surface, and it's flexible, and it's conductive, and you can attach any kind of sensor to it, can you put it in a person?
Actually, we have published papers for demonstrating.
You've already demonstrated this?
Yes.
You could actually print this under my skin, put a sensor network in my body.
Yeah, just to use some injectable liquid metal. With some.
My 12-year-old in me is freaking out right now. This is sci-fi right here. So you can put circuits under the skin.
Yes, under the skin and also on the skin directly. Then we can input some electrical stimulation for some functional recovery. But for the inside, we have demonstrated using the liquid metal to electrically connect the broken nerve. In that case, the signal can be transmitted across the damaging.
Whoa. You're connecting circuits to nerves?
Yes, above the skin.
And on the skin?
Yes.
And then also connect that to different sensors, power sources?
Yes.
That's future, baby, right there.
The medical implications could, to my mind, be life-altering. But is my enthusiasm overrated? Are there enough clues in this mysterious metal's properties to make our experts believe liquid metal has solid gold potential?
Okay, so There's lots of different ways that this stuff can be used. One of the really exciting implementations of this is the fact that you can put it inside of the body. Do any of you know if that's potentially, I mean, is there really a market for that?
I think it sounds all great, but I mean, it sounds like a lot of science fiction to me. I mean, we have seen movies where things are impossible, but you know, if it can become a reality, execution-wise, then it can become fantastic. But I don't know if it could actually work in terms of injecting to human beings, and it's a great thought, but the question is it practical?
In a way, this material is going to have to go to lots of other labs, and you know, the best thing for an invention like this, in a way, would be how can you maximize the number of different people who are trying to apply it to their own local problems? Because it's not going to go from what we're looking at now straight to a particular solution or invention. It's going to go through this range of who needs a slightly conductive metal that can turn liquid or solid on command.
So David has his reservations, believing the tech is still in the realm of science fiction, especially for biomedical use. But I agree with Clay in that if Professor Liu and his team can get this technology in the hands of other creative research labs and connect their resources and discoveries, the possibility for real-world applications could be accelerated exponentially. Science fiction could soon become science fact. Coming up, forget the Terminator and RoboCop. China's latest law enforcement tool could be an automated eye in the sky. The world of big data and the Internet of Things are creating a technological revolution. Even simple smartphone applications, which network to huge volumes of dynamic data, are having an incredible impact.
They can talk about those cases, share their experience.
So you're not just making doctors more efficient at what they would be doing anyway, you're actually making them into better doctors.
Right. That's our goal.
Yu Shengzhang is a qualified doctor and CEO of his company called Apricot Forest. Yu Zheng is taking advantage of the Internet of Things and his unique smartphone app to network doctors and improve their quality of healthcare.
We're trying to solve two issues. One is the doctor's work efficiency, the other is the quality of care.
So is it a matter of not enough doctors or them being overworked?
The doctors are overloaded, so we want to improve their work efficiency so they can work better and serve more patients.
To put that in context, most physicians in China routinely juggle caseloads of 50 to 60 patients a day. That's a huge number. So any tool that streamlines a doctor's workload while improving the quality of care is worth investigating.
Okay, so what's the actual app itself do?
One is to create your medical records very easily. 患者男30岁，考虑给予溶栓治疗. And now you see, this is exactly, and this dictation recognition has been trained by medical terms, so they recognize what exactly the doctors say.
That's great. And same thing for taking pictures of text?
Right. If a patient comes to you with a bunch of medical records from other hospital, other doctor, and you can just take a photo of those records, and the system can recognize all the things.
Oh, wow. So it just scans the whole thing and dumps it in as text, and then you can search it, you can put it into a database?
Yeah. System can help doctors to follow up the patients automatically based on the medical guidelines recommendation.
So wait a minute. So when the doctor has talked to the patient, made a diagnosis, recommended whatever treatment there is, and the system automatically recommends how they should be followed up with, and then gets back in touch with them without the doctor having to do anything?
Yeah, the system will send messages to this patient, reminding them taking medicine, reminding them for next checkup, or reminding them for what other symptoms they might have.
But the game changer for this app is the invaluable data it can provide, especially to remote rural doctors. China's healthcare reforms after the 1990s saw a huge increase in private sector healthcare, while medical facilities in rural areas were heavily dismantled. But further health reforms from 2006 has meant over 95% of China's population now have basic health insurance. But the quality of care still varies hugely from rural to urban centers. This app is helping to address the imbalance.
Here, doctors can help each other with difficult cases within this network of physicians.
That's, I mean, at least for me, that's part of the potential of doing this sort of thing in China, is you can build an app like this relatively quickly, but then you can get at real scale. That's something that, in my opinion, China can offer you today that you can't really find anywhere else.
It's a super practical app, but will my expert panel be as enthusiastic?
Okay, so for me, this seems like the kind of thing that could have really big potential impact here in China. I know that healthcare is a big consideration. Am I right on that?
The answer is yes, because if you look at where China has come in the last 10 years, I mean, it's had this tremendous boom of technologies in internet and mobile, and now healthcare. And the tremendous need is such that Tier 1 cities and, let's say, Tier 4 cities, there's a tremendous gap in the quality of healthcare.
The public awareness is there, the will is there, and if you said, you don't need to come to a big city to get to a good doctor, we can actually make healthcare better where you are. If you could tip the regulatory apparatus in China towards that outcome, that would make this kind of application a downhill slope.
Exactly.
Now, regulators are also slow to move, but...
Yeah, but I mean, if the regulators are smart about it, they'll see this as a tool that can help themselves. Because if they can achieve that solution of bringing this solution to, let's say, the countryside, where people don't need to leave the countryside, then the regulators win too. They'll be seen as heroes.
The question remains, can a simple app transform China's medical infrastructure? Well, with a huge uptake by doctors on a daily basis, it might just have a bigger impact than we imagine. The Internet of Things is an emerging realm of ubiquitous connectivity that has significant implications for the world of law enforcement. Which is why I've traveled to Shanghai, where 4.5 million drivers are caught illegally parking every year. Here at the city's Fudan University, they're developing their unique drone technology as a low-cost policing alternative. Dr. Hui Feng specializes in signal processing and embedded system design. He's leading a team working on a drone platform co-created by Chinese civilian drone company DJI and US chip giant Intel.
Okay, let's see what we got. Hey, so this is the drone in action.
Yeah, you just see the video we captured from the drone.
Identifying cars, identifying where the license plate is, then reading the license plate, and then analyzing whether or not the car is parked legally or not.
Yeah. Transmitted to the ground station to tell the policeman this car has parked illegally.
Yeah, so you can tell the police to give them a ticket.
It's a story. It's just a concept,
So here's how it works. Dr. Feng's drones are pre-programmed with the GPS coordinates of all the no parking zones in a given area. When the drone flies over these, it can detect if a car is parked illegally, record its number plate, and transmit the information to the control station, thus taking all the legwork out of parking enforcement. But there's something even more impressive about the tech in this drone.
We don't have to manually interfere with the control system. It can just solve the problem itself. We have plotted a series of waypoints into the flight control system, so our drones can actually commence navigation by itself. And we designed a star and a pentagon into the track. So when you look at the drone flying autonomously, you can see it's actually drawing a star and a pentagon.
Pre-programmed flight paths are all very impressive, but what's to stop these pilotless drones crashing into unpredictable obstacles? Well, a whole whack of cutting-edge tech, of course. Fudan University's Dr. Wei Feng and his team are developing a number of applications for their civilian drone technology. This one could help police illegal parking. The final challenge is for these remote drones to navigate with obstacle avoidance technology to ensure their safe transit around the city.
it's quite complicated to detect different types of obstacles. So we decided to combine different kinds of sensors to make a more accurate judgment about the obstacle around the drone.
Drones navigating through cities will have to avoid permanent structures, such as bridges and power lines, as well as react to unexpected human activity. This system consists of an array of ultrasonic rangefinders and a set of integrated visual cameras running some of the most advanced computer vision algorithms in the world.
Use the ultrasonic detector. It can measure the distance between this ultrasound sensor and the obstacle. When I put my hands down and up, ultrasonic can detect and calculate the distance, so it's very accurate, millimeters accuracy. The basic ability to detect the distance between the drone and the obstacle around the drone is crucial for a drone. Safety is the most important. If we want a drone fly over the streets, fly in an urban environment, it's more advanced than today's technology. We hope we can implement in the near future.
Getting this detect and avoid technology right will be key to moving Dr. Feng's drones from prototype to real-world deployment. Once they can be trusted as safe, parking enforcement is likely to be just one of many functions that fully automated drones will perform in the future. And rest assured, China will be at the vanguard of their development.
Some people have some biased view about China's innovation, but we have seen the things change in recent years. We have seen a lot of real innovation, real genius idea in China. And I think it's a natural thing because you have to accumulate a certain kind of knowledge, a certain kind of technology. And then you can have your own idea, and you have the power, you have the ability to do some more technology innovation to the future.
Dr. Feng is 100% correct. China may be an emerging market, but its level of innovation and technological growth over the past decade at least has been staggering. All thanks to big data, IoT, and Chinese innovation. A recipe to transform not just China, but the world. When Professor Shi and her futuristic, almost instantaneous data transmission using LED light evolves, the impact on our interconnected lives will be beyond belief. Even advanced food safety tracking systems and medical smartphone apps will seem like primitive undertakings compared to the technologies that will emerge. And when self-propelled liquid metal finds its metaphorical feet and walks into our daily lives, it could well usher in a new century where technology makes dreams that once seemed totally impossible entirely real.